I think everybody that wants to A&R should definitely intern in some department of the music business, to like just learn the ins and outs and everything. But I mean, the main thing about like trying to be an A&R or being in this space is just being able to identify talent. But once you do, like, what you do with the talent, like, do you know how to make records, and do you bring value to the artists? Are you going to help put them with the right producers, the right songwriters? And I think just like with us, I think all of us that's in this on this panel has probably been doing this for over 10 years, you know what I'm saying? So it takes time. And I feel like a lot of the younger kids, they think that everything happens immediately. So I think you really have to just learn the craft, and then just go from there. But just bringing new things to the table, new artists, new producers, just showing that you know how to identify those things. That's the first step.
I'm gonna just piggyback off of what Dallas said. I totally agree with everything he said, but I feel like all of us, like, at some point we had something to bring to the table that somebody wanted, and that like helped us get in the door. So like, if you have an artist, you got to make that artist, you got to like be able to show that you can like take that artist from A to B. Now, I'm not saying take it all the way to Z, but like showing you could take the steps to like grow your artist. If you're a producer, you should go find a new artist, and y'all build a sound together, and y'all build a catalog. If you a writer, get with a producer. You bring something to the table.
Yeah, I agree. I think the key thing is, and I agree with Dallas and Shawn, internships. But I think the main thing too, relationships, right? Like it's relationships, and you just being present. Like, are you in those rooms? And just being out there. Because I remember with me, my start, like I think I probably went to every music conference there was, and it was just to build those relationships and be in those rooms and network. And I think like with social media, like people think they could just DM you and just build a relationship. Sometimes it works, sometimes most of the time it doesn't. But it's just, I think what's most important is just being in those rooms. Like, before I actually started working for a company, I would come to LA for the Grammys, I would come to LA for the BET Awards, and it was just about being at those ASCAP lunches and just being at those events and just networking. And the key thing is finding out who is who, and once you find out who is who and what's doing what, then show what your value is. Like, like all labels have research teams. So it's like, okay, can you identify talent? Most of the time we're probably going to know about it. Tell me something that I don't know about. And I think with you constantly doing that, that's a good way to get in the doors in A&R. It just has to be something valuable.
Yeah, I agree with them. I would say too, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. I would say too, for me starting off, I think the major key outside of the internships, and we all did all that, was being around producers who actually knew what they were doing. So there's certain rooms you should be in, but if you could get around a producer who can actually make a record, or a production team who got the right writers, if you're in that room and you're able to learn how they do it and be able to take some of those hits that they don't believe is hits and take it somewhere else and get a placement, or you're able to identify they didn't like this artist and that writer leads you to another place, and you're able to get this network of producers and writers, to me, that's the quickest way for you to get in outside of the internship, me personally.
And all those points are super valid, and I think a super key is having that relationship with the artist, because you're the one that's going to be able to move the artist. They're going to have a relationship with the team, and don't nobody know about the music outside of you and the team, not even the building. So, it's super important to have that relationship with the artist, that artist can trust you and confide in you, that you're going to, direct them the right way.
I think we all taking a macro approach to it, and everybody's right in everything that they said. But from a micro standpoint, for the kids that aren't in New York, LA, Chicago, Miami, these hotbeds where culture and music seems to thrive and meet each other, I was probably 5 or 6 years in when I realized that I didn't have to ask or wait for somebody to tell me to be an A&R. You just had to start the fucking process. Find an artist that you're passionate about in your hometown that's like jamming, doing shows. Link up with them. See if you can add something to their creative process. See if you can help them build and put together records. That, in essence, is A&R. If you do it and you're successful and the records gain traction, let's see if you can identify another act. And from that point on, to Tuo's point, you establish a relationship with the artist, but more importantly, you become part of that creative component. And you can walk with them into a distribution company or a major label, or hell, y'all just stay independent and you rock out. But can't nobody tell you when and where you can be an A&R. You literally just got to walk in that path from your day one.